interviews, event coverage, and ticket giveaways, and so much more. Join us Fridays and punch your Texas ticket. For more information on the show, visit irlonestar.com/Texas ticket.
Our talk shows and music shows are looking for sponsors. Want to expand your brand awareness? Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776 with your question. Get seen on TV or YouTube and heard on our podcast, FM, and internet radio. Sponsor your local radio station with Lone Star Community Radio. You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on the Cindy Cochran Show. We are sponsored proudly by... He's going to have to finish it. This is terrible. Yesterday, I came up to the sponsor's name, and I go like, I know it's a W. Wootton. It's Chris Wootton and Financial Group. And so, anyway, but I don't know what happens because I want to hurry and get to you guys. But the sponsor's the most important guy right now because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. But Chris Wootton is the CEO, and they are amazing.
He's your mom and dad?
What?
You said you wouldn't be here without him.
Oh.
So is that your mom and dad?
This is what he'll do. I'll be saying something, and he interjects, and I went, what did you say? And they're like...
So you heard it here, Wootton Financial Group.
Okay, we're in the middle
Cindy Cochran's mom and dad. You heard it.
Okay. All right. Drink some more of your funny water there, and it'll be great. But anyway, he's great. He's a great guy. I've known him forever, and he's been there for 21 years. So how can somebody be around for 21 years and you not respect and feel like they're okay and trustworthy? So anyway, now to get to our contestants. For our contestants today, oh, y'all didn't know that. Okay. Anyway, no, the guests that we have are Keath Kruger. Keath Kruger. I know.
You want me to do it for
Keath
you?
Kruger.
Here, because I have it right in front of me. I can say it.
I can do it. Keath Kruger, who is the owner of 202 Main and also co-owner with, you're co-owner with 202 Main, right? You have some partners.
Shadow partners.
Shadow
you don't
partners.
know who they are.
Mysterious.
No, it's my wife and Adam. Adam's also a partner at 202 Main.
Okay. There's so many hats that you guys
I'm so glad I learned
wear.
Because I just basically said he just does everything.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to repeat it. So anyway, so Keath Kruger is here, and Branding Iron. I know you've seen Branding Iron. If you walk down the special sweet street of downtown Conroe, I love Crighton Theater, and there's Branding Iron, there's 202, there's Switch, and there it used to be us there, the most fun part of that whole street. But anyway, that's what you're going to get to see, and you're going to get to meet now the owners of all of it. And you guys are y'all are just buying up real estate. So thank you, Keath, for being here, and thank you, Adam Isabell. Adam Isabell, do I say it right?
Isabell, yeah.
Isabell. Isabell or Isabell?
Isabell.
Okay, Isabell is going to be directing 9 to 5 at the Crighton Theater, speaking of the Crighton Theater. And he also is a stylist at Switch, and he's also a bartender at 202. And is there anything else that you do? You don't have time for anything else, do you, Adam?
No.
Thank you for being here. This is the first time I met Adam when I took his picture and stuff, but I hadn't really sat down and talked to you. So we're really going to get in behind the scenes, and you have to just, you go like this and go, I won't ask that question anymore.
Okay.
Keath. I've known you from Branding Iron for so long, and you guys got through the pandemic and kept your mother in this lifestyle that she was living, and and deserved. And Allie, who is the owner of Switch, is also your wife.
Yes,
so you've
that's
got
right.
your mom, your wife, your best friend, and all down the row.
Yeah.
And I see you walk back and forth. I was trying to find you, and you were out of one door, going in the other door, and came out. And so you guys are all involved with each other, and never had an argument, right? Y'all
No,
don't disagree.
no.
Y'all
Not
don't disagree
today.
on either. Oh, not today. What time is that? Okay, it's 3. No, but I think that's great because it really is very family oriented. I think that whole street, that whole district there is very family oriented. Everybody knows each other, and usually there's not a lot of conflict, is there?
No, it's a great place to live and work, and we enjoy it, and we enjoy that we're all involved in it together, and it makes it very special when things work out, and you get to share the victories with people you care about.
Right. Well, the thing about it is it's great because it's the win-win situation thing that if somebody's doing well, it brings eyeballs down there, and those eyeballs get to lay down on your businesses, and you find fresh blood.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, just like you were saying, where you guys used to be, we have 2 new boutiques. So we have Main Street Merchants, and
Right.
they've been there for a little while, but I mean, they're there, and then Mod Boutique right next to it. So
They just had their year anniversary.
they just been there for a year, so they're celebrating that. So I mean, it's it's nice to have all those things right there that bring people to our little corner of downtown Conroe.
How long have you, Adam, been at Switch?
2018, so 5 years.
I thought you were going to say 20 years. 2018. All right. So, do you have enough? Let's see, not gossip, but you have enough stories that you can tell about things that have happened at Switch, and that why you love the clients that come in there, and how much fun that is. Are you like a bartender and they tell you everything?
Yes, so that's the story. I go home and I don't want to talk to anybody because I do it all day long everywhere I am. Yeah, I mean, I think the selling point on Switch for me is just the coworkers I have. The clients
Yes.
are really good too, and they all become like, even clients that aren't mine, you all end up in conversation together, and that's just
Right.
a fun atmosphere to be a part of. But it's definitely like the selling point is just Allie and our coworker Rachel. We all bond really well together, and then our clients kind of adapt to that, and so it's just a fun place to work.
I think it's great because the size of it's not a great big
No.
salon. It's cozy enough so that when somebody starts telling something about what's going on, and your client wants to hear, so they say, "Hey, what did she say? So it's fun because it's all the stories that they're telling. And I remember going to a nail salon, and it was like that. And oh my word, you didn't want to go. You just be a little slower. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. And listening to the stories that they have, and you get to know them, and you get to go like, she didn't do that. And I thought that size of what Switch is perfect, and it's so beautiful. I mean, love that store.
It's funny because we talk about like the scripts that we have at that moment, because you go through the same small talk with every client. So like, how are you? I'm doing a show right now, or this, and like we all are listening to each other's scripts throughout the day, just giving them to different people, because it's just like, what else are you going to talk about except what's going on and what's relevant at that time,
Right. That's right.
And then you have the clients who come in and they break that, they shatter that routine by talking about things that you're embarrassed of anyone else to hear. So you're trying to like shush them as you're talking. You're like, yeah, okay. She's like, and they just do not catch on. And it's like everyone after they leave, we're just like, did you hear what they said? Yes, we all heard what they said.
Yeah, big thing going around is syphilis. I don't know if you read that report, Cindy, in Houston. Apparently it's enough to be in the news to warn people.
What?
I'm totally serious. I'm not just trying to make.
Oh, I thought you.
No,
Nobody has told me that yet. So
Well, I mean, they're trying to. They went on all the
they're not
news
gonna tell-
programs, and it was Houston Medical, whatever, put out like a yellow alert, going like, "Hey, we're having obscene cases of syphilis in the Houston area. Be careful."
Jeez.
So don't drink the water, or what
I don't-
what do you
I
not
don't know,
do?
but I was
Wasn't
kind
it,
of shocked. I was like, "Oh, this is real."
Who was it, like Al Capone or something? Didn't he die of
Yeah, he did.
syphilis? Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was in jail.
Yeah.
Oh my word!
Probably
How
couldn't get the treatment he needed.
They brought in
Probably
the wrong
gave it to
girls.
other people.
Yes, yeah, that's true. That's great, and it's so pertinent. Why he got in there in the first place was tax evasion, and that's all over the news right now. Is all of that, and
And
also
syphilis.
That's
So-
right.
So Al Capone.
Do clients tell you that they're cheating on their taxes?
No, just their husbands.
I don't know. Yeah, just their husbands,
Just
pretty
plead
much.
the fifth. Plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
You just do an NDA whenever you
right.
It's like, okay, I won't tell anybody. Whatever happens in Switch stays in Switch,
Yes.
and so we won't tell.
Not 202
Except we
though.
do
Now
tell
the branding
Keath,
iron is
you know.
different because you can tell him and then he can tell everybody down there at the branding iron. No, but 202 would be great. Now I would think if at the bar, does that happen as well, or is it just in the movies that people come up and start just regurgitating everything they've done wrong?
I think it's actually worse at the bar because sometimes you just find comfort in a stranger, so you almost feel more compelled to reveal more than you drink, and then you're like, okay, I've like let my inhibitions go, and then
Right.
I'm like, I did not need to know that from you, but thank
But
you.
I'm
so
going
much.
to take it down from
Yeah,
my book. I'm going to
yes,
publish
right?
later.
And the problem at the bar is like everybody also tells you the same stories over and over again.
But they
So-
forget
and-
they've told you.
You got to be
Gosh.
like, no, I haven't heard this. Yeah, okay, good to hear again.
That's just exactly what Richard has to do with me. He has to just pretend that I said that for the first time. Isn't that right, Richard?
Yep.
And so if you won't tell on my stories that I tell, I won't tell on your stories that you tell. It's kind of a win-win situation there too. But anyway, so you are not an aspiring director. You've already had this
Yes.
experience like six times you've
This is
directed.
9 to 5 will be my sixth show. Yes, I assistant directed a little bit before that, but this is where I thrive. I think.
Go ahead and name them all.
Did you audition? Did you audition Keath for the?
No,
The
that was
bad
my
guy?
only. That was
Oh.
no. He's the good guy at the end.
Oh, I thought he was saying he told him not to audition.
Well, I told him, I was like, you don't have to audition. I just want you to do this role. Will you do it?
I thought it meant like, hey man, just don't
Because
do
with
it.
Keath and I, obviously, I know his work schedule, and I'm like, I know where you're needed, and so I
Yeah.
could put you in this role that just comes in at the end, so you can be at 202 most of the evening, and then just come on and shine, and then take your bow, and we can both be at 202 after that.
See, I would be in every play if that was the case.
Yeah,
Me too. People be
yes.
like, will you take this role? I'm like, if I do just that and nothing else, yes, I will do it. But I want to be there one day a week. I want
Yeah.
to leave when I want.
Yeah.
right. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I don't want to go to the cast party or anything like that.
Yeah.
But you have acting skills as well. You've been in plays. I'm
Yes,
sure.
I,
Owen and Crighton. or
Owen
just-
and Crighton. First show I did was Grease in 2013 at the Owen, and then that's the last show I acted in last year at the Crighton when they did it. Grease
So you
again.
did both of them. Okay.
Yeah, I was shocked I was able to still. I didn't look like it. I was cast as a high school student, but I did not look like I was in high school for sure.
Well, if they were doing it in 2008, you could have looked.
Well, that's
just
what-
Yeah,
like
2013 it was fine, but not 2022.
But, you,
Well,
but you did
that's what
those-
makeup and man spanks are for.
No, not whenever everybody else was really in high school and I'm the 32-year-old man playing like I'm 16. That didn't work.
That's I love that. Play against type, but I always remembered that the way that they would decorate to make up the people that are older. They said, okay, so this person's older. This person's like 30 years old. So they put in high school, the makeup artists would put these dark lines here and down there, and then they put this like a football player.
Yeah.
And it was. I said, that's not. I think you're going overboard. That's like for if it's going to be in a some mega huge, auditorium. But we're talking about pretty close, and so you can. It wasn't good. But
Yeah.
I love the makeup artists. Do you hire them, or is that all volunteer as well?
It's all volunteer. It can depend, on the show, like what's priority to you. So for certain shows, if you can't find anyone to do the makeup volunteer, you might be like Beauty and the Beast, for example, would be one that you would think with like the Beast himself, you might have to hire someone to do that
True.
makeup concept because that's prosthetics and all
Right.
different kinds of things. So, but for most it's still volunteer, like hair, makeup, costumes is all volunteer, but now we're getting to a point where I think we're just starting, there's certain people that are getting paid, like music directors and choreographers are starting to get paid, and
Oh wow!
so it just depends on what you want.
Yeah, that you can't do without. But I think that a lot of the women should know how to put their own makeup on. But if you're doing it, are you doing the 70s setting in the
Yes.
70s? Okay. So you can call me down. I can tell you
Okay,
if
perfect.
it's true or not.
I'm taking
she,
you up on that.
she basically lived that.
Yeah.
What?
You lived that.
Yes, I did. Yes, I lived that.
All the
And
abuse.
I have the, yeah.
Yeah, she
When
was
women-
a woman in the 70s.
Yeah, because I was in TV, and so the men were just very abusive. They were just
Yeah.
extremely
I
abusive.
know, isn't that,
and the way they
isn't that terrible?
talked.
It's
I think you were
changed.
making another joke with the
No,
abuse, but he meant it.
Did you hear
No,
that? He goes, isn't that terrible that it changed?
Dude, she's told me stories. I was like, that sounds like it's in a movie. And she goes, no, it's a real thing. And like one of the stories, if I remember correctly, it was either the Astros game or it was at like some sporting event. And they wouldn't let you into the room.
The sporting event. It was a sporting event, and I was doing the news for Channel 13. I was interpreting the news for at the 8:30 news thing, and so I interpreted that every morning. So anyway, I was at this game, and I knew Elma Barrera was there, and so I said, "Where's the press box?" And they went, "You want to know where the press box is?" And I went, "Yeah." And I went, I said, "Why?" I said, "Well, I'm meeting someone up there." So I go up there, and I'm staying there, and I open the door, and Lowell Thomas rushes over to me and helps me back out the door. And he said, "You can't go in there." And I said, "Why not? I was trying to find Elma Barrera." She can't come in there either. Y'all are women. And I went, "Are you kidding? You got to be kidding."
Yeah, you got in our safe space.
No, they said,
I
"No,
thought something
sorry.
freaky was going on in there. I didn't know where that story was going to go.
no, but
Not
no
appropriate,
women
Cindy. We won't tell
allowed."
those stories.
That's
That's
how long.
crazy.
That's how long.
Dang.
And the men just took advantage of that. They thought they had the power to say or act or do whatever they want to do, and you had to just laugh it off, or you have to go somebody and say, "I will never work here again. This person insulted me," and you as a woman, you never thought about doing something like that because you didn't want them to.
Right.
Yeah.
So like that movie Anchorman, it's pretty accurate.
Or
Oh
9
my
to 5.
word! I laughed all the way through that. That was so accurate. I couldn't believe it. It was like I thought, and I'd been around a lot of different TV stations, and it just seemed like it was perpetuated through all of them. All of them acted like that, and it was great.
Well, she
So,
knew what Sex Panther was.
She did.
Yeah.
I don't.
I said, "Don't
That's from
put that
Anchorman.
on."
I've
Is
like
it-
seen it once.
Yeah.
It's the perfume that he wore that stunk so bad that no one could be around him and stuff. And yeah, that was alive and well in all the news stations. Those guys thought they were. And I mean, I love the people at Channel 13. Most of them were very nice, and some of them were just really, it was difficult. But I never reported them, so they can't come back on me. I never said anything about them. I just wait till I get a mic in front of me and be on TV and then tell it. That's what I'm going to tell it. But anyway, that entertainment business is so interesting to me, and it really has changed, because now the guys sit there real quiet. Nobody's going to say anything. You're a
Right.
woman, I'm not going to say
Yeah.
anything to you. I'm not going to, no. I'm not going to harass you. I think the men probably now get harassed by the women. I
Yeah.
think they've taken that back. But I think that you're in a great position because you're the director, and so you're head of everybody's going to come to you for the questions or the arguments or the drama or whatever. They all come to you,
Is
right?
that a great position?
Oh, yes, it is, because you can
Yeah.
say, "Shut up." There are people in line waiting to take your part. So
Well,
just-
that's very true. Yes, that is one of my policies. Is if you're not doing your part, I will replace you. Because you're
Very
not.
good.
I mean, we're not getting paid. I'm not going to be miserable for 3 months.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, Adam walked around with a deli ticket dispenser.
a deli ticket dispenser?
Yeah, so when people want to talk to him, he's like, take a number. And he
Oh,
walks around,
okay, got
and
it.
so you're not allowed to talk to him unless you have a number.
You just have to wait for him to come around.
It
to the
really
end of
is.
the-
That is a story of my life. Though I'm just like, oh, I got a task to do. I'm much better at getting out of conversations than Keith is, for sure.
Oh, you are? Very good. Do you take it, or do you love people to come up and complain because you have your answer already ready?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just I'm fine with like talking to people, but yeah, I'm not very good at like he's good at like if somebody has a problem or whatever, he's good at being like, okay, I'll take care of it, and he's like walks away, and I end up talking to him for like 30 minutes.
Well, I'm not gonna lie though, Keith. You give off a vibe like I know when I see you at 202, I always restrain myself because like he might be working. I don't know if he's working right now, but he's always here, so you never know. Am I going to be bothering Adam if I say something to him? He's always here, always working. Because I would hate to be bothered while I'm trying to
Yes. And some people think because they know you,
Oh, yeah.
you know, they can throw their money right at you and be like, "Hey, help me next." I'm like, "This is a line."
Or
you
they think they
or-
know you and they just walk right into your place of business and walk over and start talking to you while you're working on a client. That's exactly what I did.
I don't doubt it, Cindy.
yeah,
But that really that doesn't bother me. It just, I guess it depends on the place. Like the worst really would be at 202 because, you know, if I'm like sitting there on a computer and people want to come sit with like their drink and I'm like, clearly I'm not drinking, I'm actually working right here. This is like Starbucks to me right now. Don't come up and talk to me, but they want you to fully stop what you're doing and engage with them in whatever conversation. I'm like, this is not the time.
Right.
Well, so the secret to how to prevent it is you guys have the earplug deals that everyone should just you should put those in, and you can just pretend you're working and be like, oh,
Maybe just wear a big
Maybe I'll just wear my gym headphones to 202. I usually now just go hide in the back of Switch because Switch is usually closed whenever 202 is at its like busiest time. So I go sit on that back couch, but now everybody knows that about me. So they're like, some patrons will even travel into 202 or to Switch and talk to me in the back.
Well, listen, if you want to go audition, make sure you go at that time to Switch to catch Adam in the back. And
oh man.
do people come up to you and say, "Look, I know that you're the director. I know you're busy right now, but I just want to know you ought to consider me for the part of."
And yes, and as I said earlier, I'm really good at getting out of conversation. So a lot of the times it's the same spiel from every person. So I'm like, you tell me that every time, I don't want to hear it. And I walk away because I'm like, people will come up to you and they'll be like, I want to audition for this show. And I'm like, I've heard that from you 4 times and you've never showed up.
Oh,
so I'm like, I don't want to hear it again.
Okay, so they're.
But
they're
that's
pushing it.
that's rare. Whenever people come up and just express interest, I'm not that mean to everybody. I'm like, oh, that's great. Yeah, well, just come audition.
No, yes, that's good because
Yes.
they're probably waiting for you don't need to audition, just come on.
Yeah, they're
it's
probably
fine.
hoping
you got
for that,
the part.
but-
yeah, like it was the movie. Like, you know, Keath.
Yeah,
he
Keith's
doesn't
like,
have
I want to do this. And I'm like, you don't audition. You're in.
I'm telling you, it's a vibe he gives off.
Yes, it is. That's it.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Keath, is 202 really difficult to manage that and Branding Iron, or is 202 easier than Branding Iron?
Be honest.
I mean, they're both hard. I mean, but yeah, I mean, 202 is definitely, it's been harder than I thought it would be. I mean, this is the first time that I've gotten into like, you know, the bar and restaurant type thing. And it's just, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of moving parts,
Yeah.
you know, everything from the front of the house to the back of the house with the restaurant and, you know, just growing it. And, you know, I mean, downtown's really busy and starting to thrive, but it's still it still doesn't have like the everyday foot traffic that maybe people think that it does, you know. So getting customers into the door on a regular basis, I mean, you know, both of us put a lot of time and effort into doing special events and different things to get people down here, and it's just a lot of work. You know?
Well, speaking of special events, do you have something going on at 202 that's going to be coming up?
We do. We have a lot coming up. We have stuff coming up this weekend. One of our biggest events, though, coming up is our 3rd annual Adult Spelling Bee.
I love that. I heard rumors of it, but I didn't want to say it, and you didn't want it to be out there yet.
Oh, no, it's out
Oh,
there.
please tell everyone.
Okay, so it's Adult Spelling Bee.
Yeah, so it's...
You're right, because kids are so much smarter than the adults, so you're glad.
So we make it really fun. So like there'll be like one round of like regular like real spelling bee words, and then the next round you have to spell words from the Urban Dictionary. So
it's stupid, you
Yeah.
know, and then like
Oh no!
you use it in a sentence and
it's
it's like ridiculous.
it's really funny
That's
because
great.
you know we basically live broadcast the whole thing. So like you know we're on microphones and we're giving shout outs to the sponsors, and then he's calling out words and then using them in a sentence, and it can get really funny. And then the
That's
Urban
great.
Dictionary ones a lot of times aren't spelled exactly how you would think, and
Knocks
so
people out.
so it gets it gets pretty
Let's
funny.
check out UrbanDictionary.com.
Yeah.
But so many people will get ticked off. It's because we do offer. I mean, the cash prize for first place is $750.
Wow. Wow.
And then we have a cash prize for second and a little bit of a cash prize for third, as well as gift cards and stuff. But it's a big cash prize, so people that are really good spellers will get ticked off whenever they get knocked out on a stupid word and not a real. But I mean, that's all part of the fun, you know. If you're going into it and you see other people, you just kind of gotta let it go and just be happy to just participate and come back next year with more dirty words in your mind. I don't know.
Because the guy that won last year, he was upset the first year, right?
Yeah.
Because he lost on an Urban Dictionary word, and so he almost wasn't going to come back. And then he did come back, and then he ended up winning first, and he got $750 last year, didn't
and
he?
that wasn't even the cash prize the first year wasn't even that much.
Yeah.
Well, give me an urban word that.
So just to explain, because I know Cindy doesn't know what Urban Dictionary is. So you know, do you know what Urban Dictionary is?
It's the lowdown on the vocabulary that they use, and it tells you so you'll understand when you go into their neighborhoods and
No,
stuff.
see, that's
okay.
she's from the 70s. No, it's basically it's a website now, and it is a collection of words that developed from slang or something that had different meanings, and they're like most of the time it's dirty, like really dirty words.
Oh, can you say one of the words on the radio?
I'll let Dick.
It won't let me go to the website. That's how bad it is.
That's how bad it is.
I
Did you
mean, but a
spell
lot
it?
of times there's a lot,
Bougie is one of them, you know.
Yeah,
some
but
of them
that
are
just means
just silly like
bourgeois.
that. But other ones
Bourgeois?
are like words for different, sexual positions. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy stuff
Oh,
on there.
that's great. But now bougie, wait, because I called, the guy that owned the furniture store, but he also
Yep.
directed.
Over by Carmelita's.
Yeah.
That's the staging store. I don't know. what to call it.
Yeah.
I
That
would call-
new store.
Yeah, we call it bougie.
Yeah,
Bougie.
and I
Oh,
called
okay.
his mom bougie, because the way she was dressed and just the way he described her, and I saw a picture of her, and I said, "Well, she's so bougie," and then I thought, I hope that word is okay. It just means like bourgeoisie or bourgeoisie. That kind of.
Well, there's like 1,000 different spellings of it, so people get really mad whenever you just do the one you see on Urban Dictionary. That
Okay.
yeah.
And a lot of the words, are they just shortened words that?
Well, like one of them would be like whoopee,
Okay.
because that's another word for lovemaking. So it's
making
like
whoopee.
making
yeah.
whoopee.
Yeah.
So whoopee would be considered a Urban Dictionary word.
But then
Yeah.
you have to use it in a sentence, and that's whenever people start laughing because
Whoopi Goldberg is
Making whoopee.
Yeah, it'd be difficult. Okay, so now tell me who's going to be judging. You two are judging, or as
No,
well?
it's just based on how they spell it.
Yeah.
If they
You're either
spell it.
right or wrong,
typically-
Cindy.
Typically, Adam reads all the words, and this year I'm actually going to be out of town, so our friend Lauren Baker is going to be his sidekick this year.
Yeah, but I
So
mean they have
he
to do a
sits there-
sentence with it. Yes.
Well, yeah. So I have the papers with the word and the sentence and the part of speech and everything, and then Keith will sit there and type how they spell it, and then type the correct spelling underneath it.
Oh, okay.
So it's all streamed to the computer. So he's sitting there typing out everything as they're saying it, and then you can see the correct one.
Yeah,
And
so
it's-
the audience can see it on the TV.
yeah. So
Right.
the whole time it's going on, they're seeing what they're spelling and then what the real.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, it really is like one of my favorite events we do. It's a lot of work, but what we've started doing to save us some of the work is the winner of the previous year, we're paying them to do the word list for us every year.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Because I
That's
wouldn't want someone to
smart.
participate 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, but that guy won the second time.
yeah, so
he
he's
came.
doing our words this year.
Okay. All right. Good. Now, that just fascinates me. I love that. And you guys can be part of the spelling bee. Do you have to fill out something? Do you have to come by and register, or what do you need to do?
Just you can contact us through social media is what we've been telling people. We're getting
Okay.
posters printed out with our number on it that you can text us for that. But yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, social media, or they can call or come by, and it's going to be on August 4th. So
That's right around the corner.
yeah,
Friday,
Yeah.
August 4th, yeah.
yeah.
So you better start studying that Urban Dictionary and .com. Is it UrbanDictionary.com?
I think so.
Okay.
Like I said, I can't visit it.
Okay.
That's how bad it is.
They won't let you in.
No,
They They ask you if you're over
They
18.
said, I mean, the city just got a ping, an email going. Someone's trying to act.
They're about to come in here.
Someone's coming down.
Yeah,
from
someone's
floor
coming
6 or
down.
something.
Yes.
I mean, we're in trouble, Cindy. I'm going to point to you.
That's so
She's trying
And
to.
she's gonna be like, y'all are too bougie.
Y'all need more to do. You know, I was working for a church and doing production and stuff, and so the preacher said, I said, what are you talking on? He goes, we're going to talk about pornography and talk about like nudity and things like that. And I went, okay. So I go to the computer, not thinking anything of it, to type up so I can get some stuff, data and all that. And I mean they said, Cindy, we just saw that you're calling up pornography sites. What are you doing in here? It was horrible, and it was difficult.
Sure,
to live
Cindy.
That
that
sounds like a
down.
lie.
Yeah, sure, Cindy.
And it was so anyway. The sermon was much.
A lot more boring, sounds like.
It wasn't as exciting as it would have been if they'd let me just go on and have come up with some good images. And
I can
things.
totally see you trying to do that as a teaching moment. Look how easy it is to access this. This is terrible. And she's like, look,
There's so
a
many
second.
viruses.
Look at this. The second I get it.
Well,
That's all I had to wait.
well, it's like if you tried to come up with a government. So if you don't do .org,
Yeah.
then all this porn stuff comes up, and so that was.
Oh, I wanna try
was
that.
one of- Try it. Try
I'm not going to try that.
Oh, especially. Okay.
It sounds
Get
like
your
maybe she
phone.
was like on the black web or something.
Yeah.
What have you been up to
She knows
all
like the
these years?
secrets.
That's why I was at church. But anyway, so I wanted to ask you about your auditioning. When are you going to start auditioning for it?
We
It's
already
already
did the
done?
audition. It's
oh,
done.
So it's cast already.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we're in the rehearsal process.
Okay.
We audition the end of June, and then so we're rehearsing right now.
Okay. Oh, and is it once a week or every day? Or what?
I do it a little differently. Right now we're doing Sunday to Thursday, and the first week I blocked the whole show, and the next week we did all the music, and then this week we've been doing all the choreography, and then I'm gonna give them 3 weeks off to do it all on their own, and then we'll come back and just start running the show and filling in the gaps. And
And you're not using tracks, you're using musicians?
no, we're using tracks.
You are using tracks. Okay.
Musicians
good.
it's hard because as much as they need to be paid, the rehearsal time you just can't get enough
Right.
and keep it in your budget.
No. Oh.
They did it for Lacage, and it was good. Like, they sounded good, but that's just such a
Is
gamble.
that an Urban Dictionary word?
Lacage?
Lacage?
Do you know what that is?
No, it
Lacage
sounds like an
de
urban. It sounds like
Fall.
a Urban Dictionary word.
Well, it's based off the Birdcage, the movie with Robin
Yeah,
Williams.
I
Okay.
didn't know what that
Yeah,
is.
so it's the musical that, or I think Birdcage was based off of the musical. I don't really know.
Are you
my
sure it's
history
not
on that.
bird cage?
That sounds like an Urban Dictionary word right there. That's terrible.
Oh, you guys.
So I gotta ask you something, Adam. With doing musicals and things, do you ever get to the point where, say, it's after your performances, and then like 5 months later, one of the songs comes on? And are you kind of like, oh, please no? Like,
Anything from Grease.
so Grease.
After doing it last year, I despise all of that music, and that used to be my favorite show. And now I'm like, I don't want to hear it. It comes on, I'm like, please, can we change it? But
Well,
it just depends on the show.
well, that's what I wonder, because
Yeah.
I always wonder if it's attached to the actual time spent doing it, or it's more of I've listened to 9 to 5 40,000 times, and I'm over it.
Oh, there's certain songs. It's funny too because whenever you're like studying the musical and getting familiar with it, and 9 to 5 I've done before, so I kind of did know it already and knew what I loved about it. But other shows you listen and it's like, God, I hate this song. But then you get an actor behind it that does something with it that it turns into like your favorite song in the show, and then you want to hear it. So it's just weird. But then other songs you loved, and then someone does it maybe a way you don't like it, and then you're like, I don't want to hear that. Or if I do, I don't want to hear them do it anymore. I want to hear like the original recording that I love.
Right.
So it really
Well-
is like it messes with your mind a little bit how it all
Well,
works.
it's so iconic that Dolly Parton singing 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Are you going to use that? Are you going to use that recording or?
No, so
At all.
I mean, because that song's in the show and it's written to introduce the characters, so that's the opening song. But it's touching on the Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin and Dolly
Right.
Parton characters, so they have their bits in it to introduce them to an audience that's unknowing of the movie.
Oh, okay.
So you can't
okay.
use her track because you're singing 9 to 5
Okay.
in your own little.
Everyone
9 to
sounds
5
like Dolly
world.
Parton for some reason.
Yeah, everyone's, all of a sudden, just a lot of Dolly layers to it.
That is so funny. Now, did you have to get did Stage Right get the permission to do?
Yes.
95? You didn't have to do any of that stuff.
No, I
Okay.
I had Sarah Preisler, the artistic director. She's a friend of mine, and I had only directed at the Owen, so this is my first time at the Crighton. And I told her that I was like, if I did a show, I'd want to do 9 to 5 or Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. And I'm like, those are Dolly's shows. I don't know what my obsession with Dolly Parton is, but
That's true.
Well, she can sing.
yeah. And I mean, her shows are good. Like, those are iconic shows that people know and love because
Right.
of her. So she got 9 to 5, and I'm happy with that.
Was it
Good.
Marvin Zindler, one of your buddies,
Oh,
part
yeah.
of that?
Yeah, he came back to the station the day that sheriff pulled his wig off, and he was in the car, and the photographer was in the driver's seat, and Martin said, "Go, here he comes, go, let's go." And the photographer pushed play and record. And so when the sheriff came up to the window, you can hear the sheriff yelling, "You son of a," calling every name in the book, "Get out of my town, or just down out of town." And then he says, "Don't hurt." And Marvin Zindler starts crying like a little baby. "Don't hurt me, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me." And he grabbed his wig and pulled
Wait,
it.
you were there?
I was whenever he came in.
Oh, from there. Okay.
Yeah, he
I was
just-
like, you're in the car when this happened? That's
No,
kind of
no,
cool.
no.
That is crazy. I'm like, what?
No, but when he played the recording back, he realized how he sounded. It was just kind of embarrassing for him, and because he was so upset with this sheriff, he didn't know what he wanted to do to him, and so I asked him later. I said, "Well, okay, now that you've done that, now you've got them all, that the police have come down on them and everybody's down on them. What, how's that affected your life?" He says, "Well, I had started having my wife go out and start my car because he didn't know, because of the mob being behind a lot of this stuff. He found out how scary this was and how many people, he got Marvin Zindler.
Well, they got their place
Anything.
closed down. Way to go, Marv.
Yeah, so
That was
he-
my weekend place.
Yeah, and all the money that town made, and all the
Yeah.
money that everybody made. So he wasn't
Maybe it
looked
reopened.
on
That's what's
fine.
going on
Why
in
didn't he
Houston.
move?
Huh?
Why didn't he move?
No, he gave the whole thing to Larry O'Connor,
Okay.
and said, "I'm gonna let you have this whole thing because I'm too scared about what's happening."
Is he
So,
still alive?
Larry?
No.
No, Marvin died.
Yeah.
and that's the only reason I could talk about him. Otherwise, he'd be here. He'd be knocking on the door.
He'd be like trying to shut us down.
No, he was such a character. I mean, people like he would show pictures of his plastic surgery
Oh.
and show all these pictures, and he would show all this. I just loved to talk about his plastic surgery and how good he looked and his hair. And
I would never have noticed.
I don't know what he looks like in real life.
oh, you don't?
Are you serious? Here, I'll pull up a picture.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
He can show you the picture up there.
I just think of that song he sings.
Well,
And in the movie, not
in the movie, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's really him.
I do know what he looks like.
Yeah.
So you see, that was, and Marvin and I started at Channel 13 the same time, the same day. And he told me one time about 2 weeks later, he says, "I have all these checks that they paid me, and I don't need the money. And they just got to be treating me with more respect," because Dave Ward and everybody, as soon as he would sign off, "Marvin Zindler, Eyewitness News," they come to the anchor, and the anchor would go, "Thank you, Marvin Zindler, Eyewitness News," and they'd laugh at him. And he said, "I don't want to be laughed at anymore." So the news director said, "Okay, everybody quit laughing. Marvin, don't do that anymore." So then Marvin has the story from Kawasaki. And he starts doing the story, and he gets to the word Kawasaki, and he goes, Kawasaki. Is that right? It's Kawasaki? And he just messed it up so bad. And they came to Dave, and Dave was laughing so hard he couldn't get to. He said, "Just everybody, give me a minute." And it was awful. And so he got so mad because I was laughing
Is
at him.
Kawasaki a Urban Dictionary word?
It sounds like it might be.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Well, I can't wait to find out what those are. Now I'm going to
Well,
home and look it up.
go back to church and get on our computer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I have that same computer? Yes, I think I do. No.
I could totally see like Cindy's here. Don't let her on the computer. Do not let her on the computer.
So, are you going to do the hair for the play?
Yes, I'm a control freak. So yes.
Okay, good. That's good. And you've had enough teasing.
What does Dolly's hair
practice
look like?
in downtown Conroe, Texas?
Well, when we did 9 to 5 last time, I did all the hair for it, and so that was like,
Oh,
I ended up I was assistant stage manager, which turned into me being in the show because we didn't have enough men. And I also did the hair for it. So I was backstage before every show just doing every wig and styling a room full of women's hair, 80s. And I'm like, now I can do that. I feel like I'm getting carpal tunnel already. I'm like, I couldn't tease that many people's hair. So I do take a different approach now where I'm like, you can do it yourself. I'll just show you what I want.
Yeah, you said 80s. You mean 70s?
Like, yes, because it's 79. So I had it like that. It's the late 70s. It's
Late
based in
70s.
79.
Right. Well, they hadn't gotten over this tease, the real teasing part
Yeah.
yet, and the 80s, everybody just wore their,
That too much, yeah.
and then they wore their ponytail on the side and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So it's so funny that you have to study the history of the stuff because when were you born?
1990.
Just bless your heart. That's great. That's great. No, you'll have it'll be fun to see your take on it because
Yeah.
you do put your stamp on it, right?
Well, yes, for sure. And I'm very, she's my counterpart in a lot of my shows. Her name's Rebecca McDowell, and I'm always like, is this historically accurate? Because I don't know. And she has so much knowledge about that stuff, and I don't want to look stupid. So I'm like, okay, is that and she's like, well, they wouldn't have a fridge like that or a phone like that. I'm like, perfect. I could look it up, but I have Urban Dictionary right here
Yes.
to tell me everything I need to know.
And the Farmer's Almanac is the other
Yes,
thing you need.
right.
But I just hope everything goes well for you,
Thank
and
you.
I think you've got a great personality to, get the group together, the troupe together, and keep everybody calm and make
with
sure
her.
they
For sure.
Yeah, you think Keith runs to it too?
and have Keith. Do you know your part yet?
Do you mean I have it all memorized?
Yeah.
No.
Is it a long part? I mean,
It's a few pages.
really?
Yeah.
But it's all about him in that scene.
Is he doing the narrative of it, or what is he? What?
I'm
trying to
just
think what
I'm the
part.
guy that comes in at the end that's kind of like the CEO or whatever. Like, I'm coming down from corporate to
Oh,
clean
the
this
company.
mess up.
Oh,
yeah.
right. Okay. And it's okay. And you end it.
Yeah.
You end everything.
So you're gonna wear suspenders?
Or I think a white
He's
suit.
wearing he's gonna
Yeah.
look like Colonel Sanders. Is
Right,
Our
that's-
goal. Yeah.
that's
like
what
a
he looked
white
like.
linen suit. We're probably gonna make his beard and hair more white.
That's
He didn't know that
awesome.
yet, but now he does.
You have
Like a
wig?
bolo tie?
Yeah, maybe.
I
Yeah,
like
you
it.
wearing a wig? No.
I don't know.
Okay.
No, we're just gonna put gray in the hair.
Well, I think he's one of the few actors. Adam didn't say figure it out. Adam actually tells him you wear this, because I could just see Keith okay, I'll go to the branding iron real quick and see what I can put together here, and maybe he'll like
that
it.
checks out.
Yeah.
Now,
know.
do you go among all the different shops, the different types of shops, the antique shops and the clothes shops and all that? Can you go in there and borrow anything from them?
I think we had discussed doing that. It just is. It's one of those things I like to delegate, and that's one of those things. It's if I don't want to be the one to ask them, but if I see something I like, I'm like, maybe you could ask them if we could do a partnership, or we could put them in
Right.
the playbill or something if we can borrow these pieces.
Exactly.
But I don't think any of those that I've ever looked into have come to fruition. I usually end up. Facebook Marketplace is really good to find a lot of for. Sweeney Todd, which is the last one I did, we needed a harmonium, and I found one that was near Dallas where my brother lives, and so my brother went and picked it up for me, and he was coming into town the next week, and I got it for $125. Because a lot of the times you tell people, hey, I'm doing this for a community theater show, they're really
That's great.
they're really giving and
Yes,
graceful
right.
with what deal they give you on it.
Sure, it makes them feel
That's why
special.
you have all that nice stuff at your house.
And I won't get rid of it either. If I really anything I get, I'm like, I'm keeping it. Okay.
He's like, I need this new couch for my living room, but it's for community theater, and they give him a good deal.
yeah.
No, you can tell them look, here's the deal. If you'll let us borrow this, I've got an in on the Lone Star Community Radio, and I can get you on there, and you can advertise your
Yeah,
your
your
place.
life, yeah.
I think I just did a wrong thing, and he's going to have to take it out. No, that's okay. I'm just playing.
Well, people say they're part of the station all the time, and I find out a year later they got a fridge or something. I'm like, what? It happens all the time.
I'll tell them they can be on
That's
the
what
Cindy
happens with
Cochran
community
shows.
radio and community theater.
I would like to clarify that I am very honest, and I've never lied to anyone to get free stuff.
Okay, that's on the record. Okay, good for you. Now, I need to know about what food do you have, Keith, down there? Because sometimes I have to bring him food to keep him happy, and so
Yeah.
I if I could stop there and get something for him, what do you have?
Miracle Hot City Chicken.
What do you want?
Yeah, that's one of our
Miracle
best
Hot
sellers.
City chicken.
It's kind of like comfort food, elevated bar food. We have what he's talking about is the Miracle City hot chicken sandwich, which is a big seller for us. We have.
Is it named after Conroe or Luke Rita's the place they have?
No, it's named after Conroe.
Okay, because that was our first name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Another big seller is our 202 Bacon Jam Burger. So the chef makes this house-made bacon jam that he puts on the bun, and then it's got like smoked Gouda cheese and like 3 or 4 slices of bacon. It's really good, real
man.
popular. But we have a bunch of really good sandwiches. Our wings are super popular. Everybody loves those.
Flatbreads are good.
Flatbreads.
Loaded fries.
Do you have angel hair pasta and spaghetti?
We don't. We do have a pasta dish, though, called Pasta Lives Here, but it's a penne pasta.
It's a penne pasta.
Yeah.
So hard to find angel hair pasta
That's
from
my
restaurants.
favorite, too.
Well, I mean, if you go and, like, really be nice to David, who's our chef, he may pull that in for you. I mean,
Okay,
I don't know.
I'll have him on the
Yeah.
show.
No, please don't let Cindy have.
Hey, I'm telling you, I have to like buy my own gluten-free crackers to bring back there. I'm like, here, these will be on my charcuterie board when I order it because I guess I'm not nice to it.
I tried to get Red Brick to have angel hair pasta. I said, you have spaghetti. You don't have angel hair pasta? No.
Y'all really like angel hair pasta too, don't you? And Allie like it a lot.
I do. I like penne, too, and I mean, I don't know. I pretty much
I
like
don't
all
like
the
I don't like
pastas.
the regular noodles. I like them thinner like that. Like
Yeah. Okay, so we're like,
But I think with us and Red Brick, it's kind of the same thing. We don't have a ton of storage. We both have relatively small kitchens, so there's only so much you can do from like having. That's why we have a relatively simple menu. I mean, we don't have room for 10 different kinds of pastas and things like that. So we try to give it as
Okay.
much variety as possible without giving up too much storage space for certain items.
but the angel hair pasta is like,
Oh my
that
gosh, Cindy.
big.
Oh.
I'm just trying to.
It's like
You could. Okay, fine. All right. Okay. So, and you have regular bar drinks, and then you have.
No. We
No.
don't have regular bar drinks. We have really, really delicious craft cocktails.
Oh, okay. Okay. And what's a craft cocktail?
We have a whole bunch of signature cocktails that are regular on our menu, and then we also do like quarterly, where we switch out like seasonal options.
Oh, you do. You
Yeah.
switch out. So,
Yeah.
so people don't come out and say, "I want the regular." You
Yeah,
go,
but I
"I
mean,
want
by
regular."
far our most popular drink's the handcrafted old fashioned.
The handcrafted old fashioned.
Yes.
And,
And-
next would be the mules or the lavender rain for sure.
Yeah.
The
Lavender rain's like a lavender lemonade martini.
Okay. Does it smell like lavender? Or is it?
Yeah, it has
It has
lavender, in
lavender
it.
syrup in it.
And lavender on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Oh my goodness.
she doesn't drink.
I don't drink. I saw.
Well, maybe you should start.
But that's a really actually that's a good one to get virgin because then it's just like a lavender lemonade
Oh, but
without the vodka.
virgin colada. When I say I like a virgin colada, and they go, "You want a virgin colada?" And I said, "Yeah," and they go like, because I can't say Virgin Mary. It just doesn't sound right when you say, "Give me a Virgin Mary," and I said, "Could I have a tomato juice without alcohol?" So why didn't you just say Virgin Mary? I went, okay, that's what I want. And I just get silly enough to people think by osmosis I get drunk with people, and
Yeah.
I have a great time. I love it because I know nobody at this party is going to remember what I did, so it works out well. In that right? You getting ready to say something?
Yeah.
You ready to cut me off? Okay, so. So anyway, I just wanted to know about the food and just entice people. You're on the very corner of Metcalf and Maine.
Yep. Metcalf and Maine. So.
How you like that? Yeah. Metcalf and Maine. And I just had
Oh, you know directions.
any place to eat.
So glad.
Just tell me where someplace. I'm just so glad you wore branding iron on your cap so I can remember that's where you're from. But in that little section there's so much going on. There's the 202. There's good food, and there's antiques to look at, and then there's get your hair done. And what would you do with my hair?
Oh my gosh.
That's
There's
not
a whole
gotcha.
lot you need
Are
to
you
do.
growing it out? Like, are you growing it natural?
No, I'm not growing it out.
She
It's
sleeps
just-
in a tree. So just to let you know.
My husband has said, just let your hair, I like your hair long. And I said, yeah, he said, well, just wait till I die and then you can cut it. And I went, okay. And so I cut off a little bit at a time. It's not a voodoo thing or anything, but I cut a little bit off at a time, trying to get where it's more up at
Yes,
around my
that's
shoulders.
what I would do.
You take it to my shoulders and layer it. Okay. That's
Right,
what I was
what
trying
would
to
you do with my hair?
When I
It's
met you, it was
perfect.
short, and I thought it was great then.
Oh, now, ooh, that's a dig.
He had
But I like it long, but I did think it looked better when you had it shorter.
He had the Justin Bieber style hair. It was perfect. His hair goes across like that, and it was just.
Nah, I
it
just
was
don't do anything with it.
I don't judge because look at how long my hair is. So
Well, no, you look like the director. You want to have that look. That's your look for being a director, like the artistic,
looking
right?
dirty, you know.
You were so happy last time when you cut it short, though.
I hated it. Through whenever we had quarantine, I was like, it was long, and I was like, oh, you know, I'm sick of it. I'll just cut it off. I won't see anybody for a while. I guess I thought my hair would grow back in 2 months, and it took 2 years to get it anywhere again. So I just had this ugly hairstyle around everybody again. Like, man, I don't know what I thought.
Well, my husband also didn't want me to let my hair go gray. Let it, he said, no, keep coloring it. And so
Man, he sounds so
He's just-
demanding.
he is. He,
He
said,
sounds like
I
he grew up in
don't
the 70s.
Ask.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So
He's
don't
in
ask
that
much.
press box mindset.
Yeah, when his hair is totally gray and it sets back a little bit further, a whole lot further than it used to. So, but I don't, that didn't bother me.
Throw a
And-
toupee at him tonight.
Well, that's because you didn't marry him for his looks. You married him for his money.
Well, that's true, and that's and that color can be
I'm
green
just
all day
kidding.
long. It's fine. It's fine. So I'm not
just
I'm not
kidding.
worried about that. I know you are. I'm gonna beat you up later. No, that's Richard and I have a really good relationship about he
I've
can-
known Cindy for a long time,
yeah, and he can say whatever he wants to say, and that's
and she says whatever she wants to say.
yeah, and a lot of things I shouldn't say, but it's good, and this is what this radio station's about. And if you guys have friends, if you have people that they're really interesting, and they've got a book they just wrote, or they want to, or they're a new business they just started, and you want them to advertise it, we are open arms, for them to come do that. And what I like to do is with people come in, I want people to get to know who you are, and that's why I wish your wife was here so she could refute anything that you said, and that and then Adam and who you are, so they feel like they go to the show and see 9 to 5, and this is like the first time they're hearing about it's going to be on, and they're going like, I want to see that, and now I know the director, and and it just makes it much more. I feel like they're empowered, like I feel part of this. So anyway, so the time is up, and we have to say goodbye. I feel like the Roy Rogers show. Anyway, and only he laughed, so it's how old you are. Adam, don't laugh. Anyway, thank you so much for being here, and I have to say shout out to Chris Wootton. Thank you for being our sponsor. Thank you so much, Wootton Financial Group, and to all our first responders. We love you so much. We respect you. We just, we don't know how you do it, how brave you are that you run into it when we're running away from it. So thank you, and for always being there for us. Okay, so we'll see you. This is tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to have tomorrow. We're going to have Willis Mercantile on.
Every week, people ask the same two questions. Are they ready to retire? Will their savings last for their lifetimes? Hi, this is Chris Wootton with Wootton Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. We help answer these two questions and many more that people have about their uncertain financial future. We have a simple introductory client experience that allows us to get to know the client and includes a few meetings for the client to kick the tires at no charge. We provide a concise, one-page summary that helps the client get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for them. To learn more about Wootton Financial Group's process in helping their clients to a clearer financial future and to see their contact information, visit Cindy Cochran's show page on irlonestar.com/TCCS. Wootton Financial Group is a proud sponsor of the Cindy Cochran Show. Wootton Financial Group is available by phone at 936-449-5952 or visit them on the web at www.woottonfinancial.com. That's www.woottonfinancial.com.
This program is sponsored by the Wootton Financial Group. It is not the intent of Wootton Financial Group to render or offer personalized investment advice or financial planning advice through this radio program or any related website. Wootton Financial Group's participation in this program is limited to providing general information on financial matters and should not be construed as financial recommendation or investment advice. Investment advisory services are offered through Game Plan Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and the state of Texas. Insurance services are offered through Wootton Financial Group, Inc. Game Plan Advisors and Wootton Financial Group, Inc. are affiliated through common ownership, and neither firm is affiliated with The Cindy Cochran Show. No listener should assume that any information presented and or made available on this program serves as the receipt of or a substitute for personalized individual advice from Game Plan Advisors, Wootton Financial